Just 6 games remain for FC Tulsa to gain a playoff spot, starting with a form team in Phoenix Rising FC, who've won their last 3 games within the space of 8 days. Good evening, everybody. Welcome into One Oak Field. Dave Saunders and former professional Brady Ballou with you. And Brady, as I've already indicated there, this really is the business end of the season, isn't it?
Oh, it's everybody's favorite stage of the season. Everything's to play for. No mistakes can be afforded, and both from the individual perspective of guys at the end of contracts to, team seasons are either fading out or shining brighter than ever.
Now, big games bring big players, and a man in form is this striker for Phoenix Rising. That's Danny Trejo.
Oh, I don't have enough good things to say about this Danny Trejo. He has all the things that separate him from the pack in the USL. He has speed, he has composure, but the ability to win a game on his own is what will continue to set him away from all the other players in the USL as I expect him to get back into MLS. And one of my favorite things about Trejo is his ability 5 seconds after a turnover to win it back, to nip it off the defender, and that's when I think he's the most dangerous player in the league, is when he's just lost the ball. And for FC Tulsa, as of late, it's been Eric Bird, the fulcrum of the double pivot for FC Tulsa. And often Bird is recognized for his defensive attributes, but as he chooses and picks his time to get forward, I think he can affect these last few games of FC Tulsa's season and bring him back into the picture.
Yeah, we can't wait for this one. Eric Bird, 3 goals, 3 assists, and he'll be so important, as will Trejo, of course, to this match. There's much at stake here tonight at One Oak Field. We can't wait for this one. Back after the break, first half call, and of course your lineups. It is FC Tulsa versus Phoenix Rising FC.
As the world demands reliable,
low cost, low carbon energy,
Williams will be there.
With the best transport,
storage and delivery solutions.
We make clean energy happen.
By being the best-in-class operator
of the critical infrastructure
that supports a clean energy future.
Williams. We make clean energy happen.
Run like a startup.
I think it's a remote mecca that's in the ground stages.
The city is genuinely welcoming of new people and new ideas.
If you're a full-time remote worker looking for something new, check out Tulsa's thriving community of more than 2,000 remote workers. Visit TulsaRemote.com to learn more about how you could receive $10,000 to move to Tulsa and apply now.
SeatGeek presents the High Five Strangers Guide. SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets, so fans can fan.
Today's match is brought to you by Bank of Oklahoma. We go above so you can go beyond. By Williams, we make clean energy happen. By Panera, the familiar made fantastic. And by Osage Casino Hotel, your place to play. Welcome everybody into One Oak Field for this match brought to you by Arvist, as we take a look at the home starting 11, the Rib Crib starting 11. There are FC Tulsa in their warm-up, and alongside me, Brady Ballou, and Brady, Philip Goodrin, obviously with Epps up there, formidable partnership they are, leading the line for FC Tulsa.
If you're an FC Tulsa fan, this is the lineup that you're expecting to see. It's what you want to see after a great result against San Antonio last week.
And also, we've already highlighted him, Eric Bird. I mean, very, very versatile. 3 goals this season. He got a goal last week. Very important to the FC Tulsa cause.
We got to chat about him in the pregame a little bit, and this is a guy that the whole team sort of depends on. We've used the phrase of fulcrum here because the weight of the team really balances on him going forward or him providing that defensive structure in front of that back 3.
As for Phoenix Rising FC, their Rib Crib starting 11, we've already alluded to the fact they have a very potent attack. Artiega up there, and of course Danny Trejo. Where do you start with all of them?
They have a luxury of riches here. What I think they need to pay attention to tonight is really, can their backline contain FC Tulsa? I think the attacking side of Phoenix continues to take care of itself. The stats speak for themselves. So it's this backline for Phoenix that, can they contain Tulsa tonight?
Yeah, absolutely right there. That's the voice of Brady Ballou, former professional, with me, Dave Saunders. There's a look at One Oak Field and the two teams in their huddle. We've already told you at the top of the programme, nobody needs reminding really how much is at stake. FC Tulsa, you feel, just need these 3 points so desperately. As for Phoenix Rising, they'll want the 3 points, Brady, make no mistake, but they're not nailed on into the playoffs, but you think they're in the playoffs, and they want that top 4 to get the home playoff game.
Yeah, I think what I love watching Phoenix for is there's this element of self-belief that they have. It's nice to watch a team play that you can see believes in the style of play and what they do and how they go about it. Like we said, the stats speak for themselves. They love to go forward. It's a fun team to watch. I expect them to be in the playoffs. It's just where.
Well, we are set fair now for this game, as the referee blows the whistle and away we go. All in white with red numbers. Phoenix Rising FC playing from right to left on your screens, up against the familiar all black strips to FC Tulsa fans with their patina green numbers. There's Nate Worth to Blaine Ferry. Milo Yosef just slowing things down. Keegan Hughes at the back, settling into this back three for Blair Gavin's men. Here's Rucci. Nate Worth spinning the ball out there to Segrist. Segrist back to Worth. Rucci. FC Tulsa like to possess the ball, especially early on in the game. Here's Hughes. And that one is away for a throw-in. Keegan Hughes in the back three alongside Rashid Tete and Rucci. Throw-in taken by Traore. And it is Phoenix Rising then in possession of the ball. There's Rios Novos, who has played here on this ground for Atlanta United 2. Had a very good game as well from memory. Now, here's Blaine Ferry stealing the ball away. Ball was loose there. Was there a late challenge coming in? The referee said no, it was all deemed fair. John Stenberg it was with the challenge. It's left Blaine Ferry down there. Just about getting to his knees, but nearly, Brady.
It's nervy moments at the back for Phoenix, and we alluded to it just a minute ago. Can the back line of Phoenix take care of themselves here?
Ball threaded through. Milo Yosef is there. Here's Gabby Torres, the former FC Tulsa man. Good ball into the box and a good touch there from Patrick Segrist, who had to be at his best. But Gabby Torres, familiar to FC Tulsa fans, and look for him to be getting forward from that left wing-back position in this 3-4-3 for Phoenix Rising, who are in possession of the ball. Here is the aforementioned Torres. Was on the bench in the last game, the 2-0 win against RGV. But both teams wanting to possess the ball early on in this game. Goodrum putting some pressure on the number 26, Zambrano. Jose Hernandez giving it away to Marcus Epps. Epps has managed to work it to the captain, Eric Bird. Bird now to Keegan Hughes. And Bird again, who will try to pull the strings. It's both teams, you know, wanting to possess this ball, Brady, and, you know, when you lose the ball, you're going to have to stand off and try to win it back.
It's always the first few minutes of a match where, depending if the ground crew is wetting the field, things like that, you have to feel out the pace of the ball, especially as guys want to get on the ball and they want to work it around, everyone get a touch before, you know, kind of making those first few advances forward. We see Rios Novo play an iffy ball into that center of the park, and maybe on some fields it does travel a little bit faster than others, and here in those first few minutes, that's where these mistakes can be capitalized on. It's kind of funny to think of Torres getting end line just a moment ago. The top of my notes about Torres is the cutback. Time and time again, you can watch this guy's highlights. His first look is to pass when he gets inside the 18. The cutback, it's no stranger to him, and so look for that to be a consistent kind of piece for his game here tonight.
Up against Milo Yosef. Watch out for that one. Always interests me, the individual battles as well as the team battle going on. Of course, here's Goodrum, always closely marked, one of the most fouled players in the USL. Slips a lovely ball down the left-hand side, but Traore was there to mop that one up and plays it back to the Argentinian 21-year-old Rios Novos. Under some pressure from Blaine Ferry. Ball cleared towards the right-hand side of FC Tulsa. And it is out, and it will be a throw-in. Referee tonight is Matthew Corrigan, assisted by Ethan Buega and Tom Felice. Fourth official is Brandon Query. Hernandez dropping deep. Epps got a foot on that one. Hernandez again from his own area finds John Stenberg, the 30-year-old who joined in January this year.
It's a bit of a higher press from FC Tulsa to come out the gate. I love that they've stepped up to the top of the D of the 18 of Phoenix, and they're not afraid to go together as a unit, but can Phoenix play out?
Phoenix Rising FC as yet have not been able to find the front three of Trejo, Arteaga and Amanakis. But as we know, great goal scorers only need a chance in a game, and suddenly you look up at the scoreboard and you're a goal down. So watch this space. There's some good strikers on display here tonight. Here's Tete. Finds Blaine Ferry in some space. Ferry to Josef. Blaine Ferry will switch to play here to the number 4, the Spaniard Rucci. Segrist. Forward to Epps. Rucci possessing the ball well to Tete. Now here's Nate Worth, just 16 years old. Really worked his way into the team, just giving the ball away there. And forward come the visitors with the number 5, Traore, the 6'3" defender, but not afraid to come out of that back three. Always interests me, Brady, you know, you're a former pro now, you see players like Traore, you know, who defensively will be in a back three, but look at him now, he's up there with Torres, almost playing as another midfielder on the wing. It seems to be a current trend. Like we saw Keegan Hughes do it for FC Tulsa last week in their win against San Antonio. Just stepping into the midfield seems to be something that's happening in the modern game.
The roles of the defender are slowly changing, and there's many players at the higher professional ranks that have paved the way for that. But yeah, Traore is a guy that not only plays through the lines but sees through the lines, and that he's looking for that next pass as he's watching all the guys in the center work underneath the forwards. If they can play off Arteaga, I mean, that's a big boy that he's going to move some defenders around, so I think he's going to be playing through the lines, Arteaga laying off, and then that's where Trejo has been so good time and time again, getting in behind on that last man running through.
Amanakis holding his right arm aloft. We'll see what that means just in a few moments. Jose Hernandez is there too. Amanakis it is, with the ball into the box. There's a flicked header away from Keegan Hughes. Stenberg will pick it up here for Phoenix Rising. Another ball into the box. There's a good challenge from Hughes, who just about wins that one to win it over Gabby Torres. Still the ball into the box, away by Tete, and now Milo Josef will try to play out. Here's Nate Worth scooping the ball to Philip Gudrun. Gudrun now up against Stenberg. Gudrun's so important, of course, to the FC Tulsa course. Signed from Memphis FC 901. Now this is a ball, good ball, space for Phoenix Rising to run into, and you don't want to give it to Trejo in that kind of space. There's a chip ball into the box, but it's not going to be anywhere near Arteaga, and that will be a goal kick.
If I'm Blair Gavin, head coach of FC Tulsa, I'm a little bit worried in the first 10 minutes of the game to see Danny Trejo running at the back line from the half field. As FC Tulsa does stretch the game a little bit and looks for the outlets through Epps and Josef, that's something they need to be cognizant of, is a guy like Trejo sitting in that gap between the center backs and that double pivot for FC Tulsa. It's a dangerous little area that can get stretched, and that's where he lives. That's where he makes his money.
Yeah, and Blaine Ferry, Eric Bird and Nate Worth have got their work cut out tonight. The three in the central midfield. Of course, one of them always likes to push high. You saw Blaine Ferry do it again against San Antonio last week in that 2-1 win. Milo Yosef's ball doesn't quite reach Nate Worth, but Eric Bird will pick up the scraps here and lay it out to Marcus Epps. This is where Epps likes to be. Can he get it on his right foot and get a shot on goal? Epps into the area, still with the ball here, scoops it into the area. There's a header away. It's going to come to Milo Yosef. No, it won't, because it's cleared away and up to the front line. And here is the captain, Arteaga.
If I'm Epps tonight, getting involved in the first 10 minutes, getting to run at a guy's front foot right away, that warms me up into the game. That's exactly what I want to be as a winger. I want to be running at somebody within the first 10 minutes. It keeps me involved. It keeps me thinking that I'm going to get the ball. And so for Epps, it's super encouraging. I imagine he's going to be a great outlet tonight for FC Tulsa. But with what Phoenix brings on the counter, he's got to be careful to pick his moments of when to go.
Blaine Ferry goes down, and we'll get well, the referee just making up his mind what he's given here. Was it a throw in? Then Blaine Ferry went down. There's lots of connections between these two clubs. We'll just have a look at the replay here, Brady, just to see if there was anything in this. Blaine Ferry it is who ended up going.
I'll let Blaine Ferry explain that one.
What it is Mr. Corrigan has given a free kick to the home side, FC Tulsa. If you're just joining us, welcome in on ESPN Plus, and also here in Tulsa on My 41. Dave Saunders and Brady Ballou with you for this one. Looking at the latest scores, currently 9th place, because Detroit have the lead against Miami FC. That one into the second half.
There's nothing better than the end of the season. There's nothing better.
Here's Rashid Tete. Now Segrist, long way out. Left-footed ball into the box. It's headed by Rucci, then across goal and into the gloves of Rios Novo, who will be happy to get his hands on the football. You're right, Brady Ballou. I mean, Detroit 1, Miami 0, 54th minute there. Here's Segrist's ball in, and the header hit Goodrum, and then just not able to bring that ball back towards the penalty spot.
If you're FC Tulsa, you're happy to get those numbers in the box. You're happy to get the head on the ball. I think Coach Gavin can kind of look at that as a bunch of positives, that they're winning that first ball in there. It's the final product that comes into play, but you're encouraged in that first 15 minutes.
Rucci. There's the injury report brought to you by Tulsa Bone and Joint. Bradley Bourgeois is still out, as is Moses Dyer. Moses Dyer was injured, head injury against Tampa Bay Raiders a few weeks ago here at Wellock Field. Absolutely nobody on the injury list for Phoenix Rising FC, which is what you want, of course, if you're the coach, to pick from a full squad.
I was going to say, it's very uncommon at this stage of the season to have no injuries. It's a nice thing if you're Phoenix, I suppose.
Phoenix, as I said at the top of the show, their last 3 wins were in the space of 8 days. They beat Las Vegas in Vegas by 3-2 before a home win against Sacramento Republic 2-1, and then the Rio Grande Valley 2-0 win. But when the coach was asked about those 3 games, he said forget it. He said we're up against a decent side in FC Tulsa. That's a good through ball. Tete was there, and he said quite rightly, Brady, and you will identify this as a former pro, you know, it doesn't matter what you've done the last 8 days, it's always the next game, isn't it?
It is always the next game. I think a lot of players and a lot of coaches use that mentality to their benefit. For me, actually, I like to think about the last few games because it kind of gave me somewhere to play off of if I need to do more, if I need to do less.
His Epps from a long way out, but that one's going to go up onto the grassy banks.
Like tennis players, soccer players are head cases, right? We're so in our heads about what's going on in the game, and so it is nice to think like a goldfish, but for some players it's beneficial to also weigh what have I done the last few weeks. Are defending guys picking up, but that I'm cutting on the inside and bending that ball to the back post over and over again. Something that Epps has to consider, is something that he does often. Does he mix it up and go near post? Those are things to weigh.
Ball flicked inside by Armanakis. And the ball out to the left-hand side here to Gabi Torres with Milo Josef. Josef has done well to dispossess the former FC Tulsa man. As the world demands low-cost, low-carbon energy, Williams will be there with the best transport, storage and delivery solutions. Williams, we make clean energy happen. 0-0 the score, 14.5 minutes gone. Your assessment, Brady, of this first part of the game?
It's got a nice flow to it. Honestly, both teams kind of feeling each other out, but it's gone beyond that. We're getting into the final thirds for both sides, and if you're a fan sitting in the stands tonight, it's perfect September soccer weather. This is I wish it was like this all year round, but I think we've got a few goals ahead of us tonight.
The temperature certainly today has been lower than it has been of late. It's been 3 figures constantly in the last few weeks here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 81 degrees on kickoff. We have not said that too much recently, and as you said, Brady, it makes you want to strap on the old cleats and get out there again, doesn't it? It's that kind of beautiful weather here tonight at One Oak Field. Here's Bird. Good ball here from Bird. Gudrun goes down a little bit theatrically in the terms of the referee's eyes there, but he was nearly in, and Philip Gudrun needs no second invitation to go at goal. Here's Trejo. Wants to get it onto that favoured left foot. Just takes one touch too much, and then Josef here now has got some space to run down the right-hand side. It's a good game of football, this one. As Brady said, it's got a nice flow to it. Both teams happy, though, in possession, just to slow things down, build from the back. If
you're Phoenix Rising tonight, you've seen Danny Trejo go one-on-one twice in the first 17, 18 minutes, and that's something that he's excited about. That's something that you're excited about.
Siegrist does well to get that one to Epps. Epps feeds a good ball here to Blaine Ferry. 1 goal on the season. Seems like an age ago when he was scoring against Loudoun United in the 3-0 home win. Blaine Ferry. Hughes out to Milo Josef. Josef against Torres. And now back to halfway, Rashid Tete, the former New Mexico man, to Rucci. Epps, turn away from Epps. Now it's the men in white, Phoenix Rising FC, who have the ball again, playing from right to left on your screens. If you're neutral watching this one on ESPN Plus or My41 here in Tulsa, it is the USL Championship cross-conference game. FC Tulsa in the east, Phoenix Rising in the west. FC Tulsa will have one more home game in the regular season against Indy 11 on October the 7th. It's almost a month, isn't it, between those two last home games. It's a tough run-in for FC Tulsa, and well, every game, Brady, you would say, is tough for everybody in this league. It seems to get stronger and stronger each year. We'll come back to a comment from Brady in a minute, because here come Phoenix Rising again, just building here with Trejo out wide on the right. Trejo receives the ball again. Epps is back there, and it's going to be a corner. Epps thought it might have been a goal kick, and this is going to be our first Case & Associates corner. Good build-up from the away side there. Trejo involved.
Yeah, Phoenix getting forward now over and over, and it's an encouraging start from the guys in white. I think what you say about, the level just getting higher and higher, you hear all the guys internationally coming over to MLS, to the USL. They say that every game it's anybody's ball game, which is something exciting in America.
Here's the corner from Armanakis into the box, and it was headed away by the other number 21, and that was Patrick Siegrist. Siegrist, who was signed from Colorado Springs switchbacks. Another ball dumped into the boxes over everybody, and that will go away for a goal kick. And FC Tulsa defended that pretty well, Brady Billy.
Yeah, Segrist has an important role to play tonight, because as he chooses and picks his times to get forward, you've got to consider what Epps brings to the game. Epps is a guy, he's a stallion. You want to give him space, you want to let him run free, but if Segrist can pick the right times to get around him, I think that's when you get the most out of Epps, is when you can combine, but you don't want to crowd his space, because that's what makes him special. So watch Segrist tonight.
The ball up to the front line. Stenberg gets a header in. Epps and Stenberg challenge for the second ball. Now it's loose with Blaine Ferry, but in steps Torres, and back goes Traore to Rios Novo. Headed back here to Epps. Epps gets a touch on it, but Ferry was in an offside position coming back. And again, Traore can build from the back for Phoenix Rising FC.
A bit interesting to see Arteaga standing in the middle of the pitch, both hands up. He's hardly been involved 20 minutes in, and that's somebody I want to in and around the ball constantly to play off of. He's a big boy in the middle of the park, and I think fundamental to their success and their building forward.
There's Danny Trejo, the top USL scorer. 15 goals, 5 assists. Scored in the last 3 games, as his strike partner Arteaga has 2. They are a potent strike force. At the moment, 0-0. 20 minutes gone here at One Oak Field. Rucci bringing the ball forward.
A little bit slow from FC Tulsa here. I think nice to let the game breathe, take your foot off the gas for a second, but 1 and 2 touches can be a little bit quicker.
Nate Worth to Segrist. Good battle, that one over on that right-hand side. Manjoma comes away with the ball. And that one is up to the front line for Arteaga. Was it a handball? Certainly Blair Gavin thought so. The coach, head coach of FC Tulsa. Traore chests it down on halfway, feeds it infield to Trejo, who's working hard off the front line. Here he is again, receiving a 1-2. Onto his right foot. Bird was with him. Rucci away. Marcus Epps now scurrying down that left-hand side, feeding it back infield to Nate Worth. Worth here to Eric Bird. Bird, who scored that first goal last week in FC Tulsa's much-needed 2-1 win. Here's Milo Yosef running at Gabi Torres. Yosef going the long way round towards the byline. Has he taken it too far? Yes, he has, and in fact we hope he's going to be okay there, because he's collided with the advertising hoardings there. Traore sportingly trying to pick him up. Stenberg as well checking on him.
It's all gas, no brakes from Yosef there. It's what you want to see from a winger, especially going at Torres. Make him defend. If we can, or if FC Tulsa can pin back, you know, those wing backs, I think that causes some issues for Phoenix, because they like to commit so many numbers forward. If FC Tulsa can ping those wing backs back into that final third, that kind of transition that Phoenix thrives off of, is all of a sudden that switch turns off.
Be a part of FC Tulsa history and order your 2023 Route 66 kit or Interstate kit today. Pick yours up at the FC Tulsa team shop, or order yours online at fctulsa.com/shop. Thanks again for your company here, One Oak Field. We're in the 23rd minute, 0-0 between FC Tulsa and Phoenix Rising FC. Both teams wanting the points for different reasons. Nobody nailed on in to have a postseason by any means at the moment. Rucci ducking in with his head there. Torres can play a short ball. The ball is worked out to the right-hand side for Eddie Manjoma. He feeds it back in field to Jose Hernandez. Manakis was involved. Now Traore into the box, and there's a header from Trejo, who applauds the ball. There was an assist by the number 5 Traore for the second goal against RGV, and it's certainly something they have obviously worked on. But at the moment, Brady, FC Tulsa backline have kept things pretty quiet.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what you have to do with a team like Phoenix Rising. If you can keep, if you're the backline of FC Tulsa, if you can keep Phoenix in front of you, I think then you have the opportunity to kind of contain their excitement. But if you watch these Phoenix Rising highlights, all their goals come when defenders are running towards their goal. These guys transition better than anybody in the league. And if you see Trejo getting the ball in the middle of the field, some people might say, no, I want him higher up, but I think the reality is he combines so well with players in the middle of the pitch that you don't mind him dropping a little bit deeper in these scenarios, and let him combine, let him work, and then if you track him when he does this stuff, because when he does combine and he lays things off, he gets quiet. It's kind of like what Messi does, right? Somehow the best player in the world can disappear on the pitch. Trejo has the ability to do that, and his kind of third man running thing is what's got him so many goals this season.
Talking of goals, here's Marcus Epps, but he does get brought down there. The offender was Fuenmayor, who we haven't mentioned too much. Fuenmayor playing as one of the back three there, just sticking a right leg out, waving the hand around as if to say, I never touched him, ref. But Marcus Epps, it is who gets that. Marcus Epps is done really well for FC Tulsa, of course, a former Phoenix Rising man. Plenty of connections, as we said, which we'll get more into and talk to you about, including my colleague here, Brady Ballou. Here's Segrist. Goes across the field here to Milo Yosef. May have overcooked that one, yeah. Little bit of a waste there. Maybe on another day they might have dumped that ball into the box, Brady.
I don't know if I've ever understood playing a square ball from a free kick. Now maybe it's something they've worked on in training. You hope so after seeing something like that, and it just hasn't come together. But you've got all your numbers in the box, and you hope, if you're an FC Tulsa fan, that you dump it in there and let the big boys get their head on it.
Head-to-head, 10 games. That includes the old franchises, of course, of Arizona United and, of course, the Tulsa Roughnecks. 4 wins for the Tulsa team and 5 for Phoenix. 19 goals against 25. There's been 44 goals, Brady Ballou, in those 10 games. And I remember you were involved in a 6-3 here at One Oak Field.
It was a thriller.
It sounds like it. I think I was on the mic as well. I seem to remember.
Of course you were.
Now, ball out to the right. Into the box. It's over everybody. It's going to come to Milo Yosef. Yosef will clear, and it's going to be a Phoenix Rising FC throw. And then Jomer it was who produced the cross. In fact, it was an FC Tulsa throw. Michael Nelson there in goal. 4 clean sheets this season. Long ball looking for Philip Gudrun. Gudrun's with Stenberg. Gudrun works so hard, Brady, sometimes up there on his own, and sometimes needs a little bit more service to thrive on. I mean, we know he's such a great goal scorer. 9 goals this season, FC Tulsa's top goal scorer, scored on his debut, but he needs service, doesn't he?
Since he arrived in Tulsa, he's sort of been in hero mode, right? He's time and time again chipped in a goal and a Panenka or 2 inside the penalty box, and so it's a good thing the forward position isn't a thankless task in that chasing down loose ends, because when you score, you get all the glory. And so I don't think, you can look at his work ethic, I don't think he minds chasing down those loose ends. It's nice to see a forward that likes to put in a shift.
And again, back to your point just a few moments ago, not afraid to drop off the front line into the midfield, get the ball, as is the modern strikers. Here's Epps trying to thread it through to Philip Gudrun, and now forward come Phoenix Rising FC on that right-hand side. Nate Worth is there. Blaine Ferry was beaten there with a drop of the shoulder. Here's Jose Hernandez. Gabi Torres, the Brazilian. Back to Hernandez wearing 8. Zambrano. And now a patient build-up to Traore, the Senegalese 20-year-old. Here's Jose Hernandez. Back to Traore. He was switched to that right-hand side for Fuenmayor. His little chip ball forward is a good one to Trejo, and out comes Michael Nelson. That was a beautiful assist, beautiful chip ball through, Brady.
It's just a delicate little chip in behind. If you're Trejo, you sort of lick your lips and stuff like that. Anything that's getting you inside the penalty box. Michael Nelson hasn't had much to do so far tonight, but if you're Trejo, it's nice to see guys looking for you early.
Just going back to that 2017 game, Brady Ballou alongside me, Bradley Bouchois, Corrales and Fernandez, all with FC Tulsa now. That was back 6 years ago in the Tulsa Roughnecks, and up against Matt Watson, who's now the FC Tulsa assistant, Didier Drogba, ever heard of him, and one Blair Gavin, who was playing in the central midfield against you, Brady, who's now, of course, the FC Tulsa head coach. So going back 6 years, and I know it seems like yesterday, I'm sure, but lots and lots of connections between these two great clubs.
Yeah, it's nice when inside the USL and even inside MLS, seeing these kind of spiderweb of connections between teams, it creates histories between clubs and between guys, and I think it adds a little bit more to the match. And I certainly like seeing guys I've played against at other squads, over and over, and you even get to know a couple of the guys that you've never played with, because you start seeing them every 4 or 5 weeks with other teams. And yeah, it's a cool thing that it's nice to see the USL holding on to guys and continuing to, even if they move around the league, the continuity between all the players here is starting to become really special.
And whisper it quietly, you were saying that Blair Gavin is a true professional and a real thorn in your side. He was everywhere, wasn't he?
Horrible, wasn't it?
Now here's the ball in the middle of the field, threaded through down that right-hand side, scurrying run, decent ball needed, good ball cut back. There's Gabby Torres getting it back into the box, but there's Keegan Hughes to clear it away, and it remains 0-0. And Traore wants the throw, but it's going to go FC Tulsa's way. But that was a good run down that right-hand side from the dangerous Eddie Manjoma.
Yeah, Manjoma does well to wrap his foot around it, a little too much mustard on it. But if you're Gabby Torres, you want to be crashing the box. Now in this case, it does go long, and so it makes him look good. But if you're Phoenix Rising staff, you probably want Gabby Torres to just come in.
0-0. Yeah, Gabby Torres had that one run, didn't he? And he pulled it back beautifully early on in this game, but he's been kept fairly quiet by Milo Josef. But then you could probably argue Milo Josef has been kept quiet by Gabby Torres. They've almost cancelled each other out a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah, a bit of a stalemate. That sorts itself out over the next 30 minutes.
Here's Jose Hernandez in the 32nd minute here at One Oak Field. 0-0 the score. Rucci. He clears up towards Philip Gudrin, tries to get away from the shackles of Stenberg. Worked out to the right-hand side. Jose Hernandez likes to be on the ball in the midfield there to Renzo Zambrano, the Venezuelan. Gabby Torres back to Traore.
I like how quickly Phoenix moves the ball around the back. I think I mentioned something about FC Tulsa playing a little bit slower earlier, but a good pace to what Phoenix Rising is doing to sort of move FC Tulsa back and forth.
It's the voice of former professional Brady Ballou. I can tell you, in the 6-pointer, it's now Detroit 2, Miami FC 1. Detroit sitting currently in 8th place, FC Tulsa dropping down to 9th. There's a shot, and it wasn't too far wide from Panos Armanakis. Closest we've come to a goal.
That's a pretty one from Armanakis. They speak so highly of him over there at Phoenix Rising, and it doesn't miss by much. He gets his full left foot behind that thing, but it just keeps rising. Nelson, pretty easy to see that one over the bar.
Armanakis, who does have triple nationality of Greece, the USA and Australia.
Which means you have to drop one, right? If you want 2 passports, so which one do you think he moves on?
He's certainly the 3rd highest in assists with 7. This is his 15th start, and he, along with Arteaga and Trejo, excuse me, you know, that front three, as we've talked about, very, very potent.
Yeah, scouting department of Phoenix has done really well to bring all these 3 guys in, and they've put together some incredible numbers in the USL this year. And, I'm sure they're hoping to keep their hands on them, but I'm sure there's a few MLS clubs keeping tabs on these 3.
There's a confirmation of the Detroit-Miami score, 2-1. Not long left in that one. Good battle, won by Torres. Jose Hernandez. Throw-in will go the way of the men in white, the away side. Take it quickly. Eric Bird's there now. He wants to throw, but he won't get it. Thought it came off the foot of Fuenmael.
So many goals come from throw-ins. So many people talk about set pieces or the first 5 minutes or last 5 minutes of every half, but time and time again, you'll see so many goals be given up from a throw-in.
Traore again. You've seen a lot of the ball in this game, as has Jose Hernandez. Yeah, you've got to be quick from those throw-ins, haven't you? Keegan Hughes steps in. Epps giving it away to Gabby Torres. 10 minutes to go before half-time. Torres still with the ball. Trejo out to that right-hand side. Here's the ball into the box. Eric Bird will come away with the ball to Marcus Epps. Epps trying to get it down to Philip Gudrun. Gudrun does get it off the head of Bird. Jose Hernandez will pick this one up again for Traore.
Yeah, Zambrano's done really well there to stick out that right foot. Calmly collected with the outside of his foot. A little bit of steeze on that stop defensively. So good from Phoenix so far.
Here's the goalkeeper, Rios Novo, slowing things down. Long ball forward. There's a real good battle there between Trejo, who's come away with that one. Trejo's gone, continued his run. Out comes the goalkeeper and does extremely well, Michael Nelson. Now, National Suicide Prevention Week is September 10th through September 16th. To support the mental health of our communities, the USL has partnered with the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Need support? Call or text 988 now. You are not alone. Here's Eric Bird driving down the middle of the field. Could try one again. He slips it in here to Gudrun. Gudrun slips at a vital moment. You thought Bird may have had a go himself. Gudrun slipped as he tried to play that ball. There he is, picking himself up, and it remains 0-0.
Talk about transition from one end to the other. Arteaga slipping in Trejo, and then it goes right back the other way. Bird slips in Gudrun, but a little bit of a slip. Nothing much to that one. Rios Novo can calmly collect and get out of there. But positive from both sides. If you're FC Tulsa, you don't want to see Arteaga and Trejo combining like that so deep in the final third. But if you're FC Tulsa, you're also thinking, oh, well, if they are going to go forward, we're going to go the other way just as fast. So maybe the game's starting to open up.
Almanakis now in his own half. Left-footed ball, switching it in to bring in Traore. Slips the ball in here to Arteaga onto his right foot. Easy save for Nelson.
Traore is so good at that. We've mentioned it a couple times in the broadcast tonight. He not only sees through the lines, but plays through the lines very well. And he's got a couple of highlights. An assist against Rio Grande Valley a couple weeks ago. Did the exact same thing. And Arteaga, almost the beneficiary of a great pass. And, yeah, FC Tulsa's got to keep an eye out for that one.
It's very clever, isn't it? When you look at the tactics, and it is something that in the modern game you could say it was Guardiola that brought in sort of, I was talking to you, you know, the likes of, you know, Arsenal have done it, Manchester City, when one of those centre-backs in a back three steps into the midfield to create the overload, and no one does it better than Traore, and he's done it in this game.
It creates so many problems if you're FC Tulsa, because either Ferry or Bird has to step, and if they do, then all of a sudden Nate Worth has to tuck in behind, and then Epps has to come cover for everybody as Traore creates numbers for Phoenix. So it creates a host of problems now. If Traore, you know, doesn't complete the pass, they've got bigger problems than FC Tulsa does.
That's what I was just going to say. As Jose Hernandez is in the ball, you've got to rely on guys being very, very clever on the ball and confident on the ball, as all professional footballers seem to be these days anyway. Here they come again, down the middle of the field this time, out to the right-hand side for Manjoma. Manjoma's ball into the box is well defended by a combination of Tete and Keegan Hughes, but certainly Phoenix Rising here are turning it up a little bit here, Brady Ballou.
They certainly are. It feels like this game has opened up. A great cross from that right side. FC Tulsa does well to handle it, but if you're Gabby Torres, you're doing the right thing. You're totally committing to that back stick. And
Manjoma again just playing that ball in, hits Eric Bird. Seeger's trying to play it out, but just gives it away. Now they go down the long way into the box, hits Rucci. Torres is in there, and Torres has committed the foul, but certainly they're all coming at FC Tulsa down that right-hand side. Manjoma wearing 23, also wearing 30. Again, talking of you know, the three at the back. Fuenmayor is getting up there. That was Fuenmayor. He's one of the back three, and he's crossing the ball into the box, Brady.
Just outside of this clip, you'll see Gabby Torres makes a deft little move into the inside. It's kind of this ghost tactic almost, where you bring that outside back with you, and at the last moment you tuck inside and go to that penalty spot. Now the service not exactly there, but Gabby Torres is already thinking he's got the outside back right where he wants him. Now he could slip into that penalty spot for a cutback, and as we know, Phoenix Rising loves a cutback when they get to the end.
0-0 the score in this cross-conference game as it stands. FC Tulsa in 9th place due to that score in Detroit, where they're playing the last few minutes of that game. As for Phoenix Rising, they currently sit in the live table 5th. They will be pretty pleased, though, to see that San Diego Loyal are losing by 2-0 at Charleston, a place that FC Tulsa still have to go. They have to go to Pittsburgh as well, who won their game by 3-1 against Loudoun United. Here's Blaine Ferry. FC Tulsa hanging on, looking for that 8th spot. You could argue 7th as well. Above that will be a very tall order. Here's Tete. Rucci up to Blaine Ferry. He's found a little pocket of space. Epps has been kept fairly quiet in this game. 4 minutes to go till half-time. Plenty to get through in the half-time show here. Of course, we'll be showing you the highlights of this first half. It's been an intriguing game, Brady. A little bit short on work for the goalkeepers. Michael Nelson's been probably the busier of the two. Here's a ball over the top, looking for Philip Goodron. Hits his back, gets control of the ball here, needs support, finds it in the shape of Milo Yosef. Here's Blaine Ferry. Is there a late goal for FC Tulsa here before we go into the break? Here's Epps, hits the defender Fuenmayor.
Yeah, that's Epps' probably 6th involvement in the final third. Let's call it 7 here. He's got a defender on his back, but really exciting stuff from FC Tulsa going forward. And it was a little thing a couple minutes ago, Rucci just kind of playing through the lines there. Something that slowly starts to move Phoenix around. It's really encouraging from FC Tulsa when Rucci starts to look forward beyond that first guy in front of him.
Here's Eric Bird. They've worked it out well here to Milo Yosef. Milo Yosef up against Torres. Good ball into the box. I say a good ball, and then it's an easy chest down for Manjoma, who can bring it away here, but he's given it away to Nate Worth. Nate Worth's got a little bit of space here. Eric Bird. Keegan Hughes up from the back. Eric Bird scurrying to get on the end of that one. Clips the ball into the box. There's a header away, and then a volley away. And at the other end, there's a sliding challenge from Keegan Hughes, and then Tete has to get there ahead of the advancing Artiega, who looks at the referee and wanted a free kick. Now Marcus Epps. Good end to this first half here from both teams. FC Tulsa enjoying some good possession here. 43 minutes gone.
Oh, it's really knowledgeable stuff from Bird here. When Yosef cuts in on that right side, Bird sees a great opportunity.
And here is an opportunity for Eric Bird. Good save from the goalkeeper, who has to go down low and save well. But Eric Bird, who scored last week, had 3 on the season, wanted his 4th.
Oh, it's one of those you want back if you're Eric Bird. He's in a great position. It's a great little slip ball in between the lines. Blaine Ferry gets a little bit fortunate here, and I don't want to be too hard on Bird there. He's had 2 guys on his back collapsing on him, but it's certainly one he might want back. A guy with his form as of late, you'd expect him to put that in the far corner.
Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa is your place for fun and entertainment after the match. Enjoy a world-class casino experience with high-stakes tables and over 1,600 electronic games. Just 4 miles from One Oak Field, Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa. Free kick to FC Tulsa. Marlo Yosef and Blaine Ferry over this one. Will it be a driven ball? At the goalkeeper's feet here from Blaine Ferry with his left foot. 2-man wall. Everybody back for Phoenix Rising inside the penalty areas. You can see in our shot there. Here comes Milo Yosef, chips it towards the far post, and there's a header behind, and it's going to be FC Tulsa's first Case and Associates corner of the half. Good finish, Brady Blue, from the home side.
Oh, you love to see it if you're an FC Tulsa fan. This is exactly how you want to finish the half, with a couple set pieces, put Phoenix on their heels. It's good to see them put that ball in the back stick where they've got bodies there. We mentioned it when they played that last set piece, and they played a square ball. You've got guys in the box, dump it in there.
Always a good time to score in a game of football. Go into the locker room 1-up. Can it be FC Tulsa's moment here? Referee, as he always seems to have to at least once in the game, will sort out the pushing and shoving.
I love it.
Brady Ballou never did that when he played.
Not a single yellow card. That's what I'm known for.
Here is Miley Yosef, who can now reset. Blaine Ferry and Nate Worth wait in and around the 18-yard line. Keegan Hughes near post. Referee is happy, Mr. Corrigan. There is a lot of action underneath the crossbar in there, and again his referee's coming back to have a chat. It's one of those that's going to be dumped in there. Rucci's in the thick of it. Eric Bird waits on the 6-yard line. Marcus Epps is having a wrestling match with the defender. Here's the ball into the box as a flicked header, and the referee in fact brings the game to a halt for half-time. And Brady, a flurry of action for FC Tulsa. They've kept the back door shut. 0-0, probably about right.
Probably about right, yeah. Both teams feeling each other out for those first 20 minutes, but as the game opened up, you saw Trejo and Arteaga start to combine a little bit, encouraging stuff from Phoenix Rising. And if you're FC Tulsa, it's nice to see Epps get on the ball 6 or 7 times and Yosef cutting inside. And if Eric Bird can kind of slip into the spaces that Yosef leaves behind, I think they can find him and start to dump the ball in the box through him.
Much to come in the second half, much to get through in the Williams halftime show. Halftime here from One Oak Field. It is FC Tulsa 0, Phoenix Rising FC 0.
Rib Crib's been smoking the good stuff over 20 years, serving up mouth-watering barbecue, talking about slow-smoked classics like Rib Crib's famous ribs. Yeah. Hungry yet? Rib Crib.
Hey! Thanks for coming out again. I mean, we really appreciate you guys supporting us this year. And I mean, nice ride.
Absolutely. We're always happy to partner with you guys.
If you like this ride, you should come by Ferguson Kia and check out some of our inventory.
Let me make you a deal. So if you guys score on Keegan from half field, Ferguson Kia will give free FC Tulsa tickets to all of our new customers.
You're on.
Waldo's Chicken and Beer is home of Southern Fried and Fire Roasted Chicken. Enjoy scratch-made tenders, flavor-packed chicken wings, and house-made sauces, mac and cheese, collard greens, hand-cut french fries, and our signature cheddar cheese biscuit. Finish off your meal with our homemade banana pudding. Watch all your favorite sports at our full-service bar while sipping on ice-cold beer or any of our craft cocktails. Drive-through, dine-in, or order online. Needing to feed a large group? Spice it up with Waldo's Catering. Waldo's Chicken and Beer, the best homemade fried chicken in Tulsa.
Come see us!
Hi, I'm Bill Knight for Bill Knight Ford. You've probably noticed the construction going on around us, so now is the perfect time to take advantage of our remote options in both sales and service. From a fully online buying experience, including signing all of your documents online, to our pickup and delivery option and service, where we'll bring the loaner to you. And of course, our mobile service van. So let us at Bill Knight Ford come see you and visit us online at BillKnightFord.com, home of the Knight Advantage.
Pitbull into the box. Gudrun has won the game of football. We are so used to late drama here at Wallow Field. Marcus Epps from 3. It is 3. Marcus Epps is in wonderful form. He Tulsa scored a goal.
No goals here at half-time between FC Tulsa and Phoenix Rising FC. What I can tell you, last Sunday FC Tulsa played its first competitive league match at the University of Tulsa since 1984. The match resulted in a 2-1 win over defending champion San Antonio FC with a goal and assist from both Eric Bird, Marcus Epps. Let's take a look back.
Yo, roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM.
Rib Crib's been smoking the good stuff over 20 years, serving up mouth-watering barbecue, talking about slow-smoked classics like Rib Crib's famous ribs. Yeah.
Goes topic. I mean, yeah, let's talk about
Stop
today. We're gonna go
Yo,
topics.
roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's last on radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What? This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it. What?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Hi, I'm Dr. Steve Tiger. At Tulsa Tech, we're committed to helping every student find success in the workplace. Today, companies right here in our area are looking for someone just like you. Turn your love of cars into a career, or take to the skies and let your earnings soar in aviation. Hands-on training from instructors with the know-how and have worked in the industry. If engines aren't your thing, we can train you to design, create, or fix just about anything. Why wait to start your new career? Make your own path today at Tulsa Tech.
One Oak Field on a Saturday evening, half-time here, 0-0 between FC Tulsa and Phoenix Rising FC. Williams half-time show as we have a look at the first half stats. No goals, Brady, an intriguing game. Both goalkeepers probably will want to be worked a little bit harder in the second half.
Yeah, fairly even matchup so far. All to play for in the second half. The possession, 56-44. You're not necessarily worried if you're FC Tulsa. I think all the possession that Phoenix has had hasn't been too worrying. But second half, I mean, things are going to change. Those substitutions will be made, and who cares about possession? I care about goals.
There you go. And the top 8 is what everybody cares about for the playoffs. Of course, FC Tulsa on that caption in 8th. But I can tell you, we'll have a look at some scores in a minute, but Detroit City have just nipped into that 8th place. The top 4, of course, get a home draw. FC Tulsa still have to go to first place, Pittsburgh Riverhounds and Charleston Battery Way. No game easy, but as we said, it's time to pick up points, isn't it, at the business end of the season?
Absolutely, and with Detroit and Miami both having a game in hand weekend over FC Tulsa. I think that creates this other element of pressure for FC Tulsa going into the last few games of this season. But Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay certainly looking, and even Charleston certainly looking really pretty up top at the first 3 slots.
Well, let's have a look at the out-of-town score. Plenty going on tonight. I can tell you that Pittsburgh Riverhounds, there it is, have gone top, and they've beaten Loudoun United by 3-1. Tampa Bay Rowdies, with 2 more Jennings goals, have beaten Lute City by 2-1. Charleston Battery 2, San Diego Loyal SC 0. That's good news if you are a Phoenix Rising fan tuning in tonight. And that big game there, it was 9th versus 10th. Detroit City FC go to 8th, 2. The Miami FC 1. And in the 65th minute, Memphis 0. Monterey Bay 1. Let's have a look at some news and notes. 27 players across the USL Championship and USL League One have been called up to represent their respective countries on the international stage, including FC Tulsa's Jorge Corrales by Cuba. Cuba drew 0-0 with Haiti last night in Nations League play, with Corrales earning his 47th career cap for Cuba. Orange County SC enters its matchup with El Paso Locomotive FC tonight at 9 p.m, riding an 8-match win streak, the longest win streak in the league this season. The USL Championship record was set by FC Cincinnati in 2018 with 10 consecutive wins. And finally, Tampa Bay Rowdies and Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC became the first 2 USL Championship clubs to punch their ticket to the 2023 playoffs last weekend. Pittsburgh currently sits at top, as you've just seen, in the East with 54 points, trailing closely Tampa Bay with 53. So much to talk about as we go to the team of the week, and there he is, Brady Ballou Arteaga, who's playing tonight, and he was also the player of the week, and well deserved.
Oh, well deserved. A great outing from him last week, and this week he's been kept a little bit quieter by FC Tulsa. But if you're looking at this team of the week and you're a neutral tonight, you're seeing 4 players on this starting 11. Who wouldn't want to tune into something like this? There's a ton to play for this last few games of the season, with Arteaga starting to combine a little bit with Trejo. Can he slide in a goal? Can he find a little bit of space inside that 18? And if you're FC Tulsa, you want to build off these performances. Epps, Bird especially, Hughes obviously just joining the side recently. It's an exciting thing to kind of cement his place in the lineup really early on, but Bird and Epps, that's really great momentum to take in these last few games.
That's the team of the week for week 26. We've got the first half highlights coming up for you right after this break. It is 0-0 here at One Oak Field.
Geek presents Boomstick Lady. SeatGeek helps her find the perfect seat so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Oh, okay. SeatGeek handles the tickets so fans can fan.
Summertime is back at Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, and we have the perfect getaway for you. Cool off in our spacious freeform pool, grab your favorite drink and chill at the poolside bar, or relax and unwind in a cozy private cabana. Just steps away are tempting restaurants, live entertainment, and a world-class casino gaming experience. At Osage Casino Hotel Tulsa, your place to stay and relax.
When I come home, it's like I feel like I'm in my dream home. I've been doing a little research on HELOCs, and I went to Oklahoma Central Credit Union. They were wonderful. We've added pretty much a new addition to our house. We didn't even have to pay the closing cost. They paid it for us. So I've been with Oklahoma Central for quite a while. I'm not going anywhere else.
Hi, I'm Lauren, and I'm an engineer here at Williams. I think what has kept Williams thriving for over 100 years since the Williams brothers first founded the company is our constant innovation. We recently started a partnership with Microsoft so we can have the latest and greatest collaboration technology. We are starting up solar farm projects and thinking of ways that we can incorporate hydrogen into our pipelines. This allows us to partner renewable energy with clean burning natural gas right here, right now.
Every bite better with Pepsi.
Tonight's match is brought to you by Williams. We make clean energy happen. By Bank of Oklahoma, we go above so you can go beyond. By Osage Casino Hotel, your place to play. And by Tulsa Spine and Rehab, a team of specialists in one place delivering lasting pain relief. Well, we didn't see any goals, Brady Ballou alongside me, but we have got some highlights for you for this first half. 0-0 between these two great rivals, FC Tulsa and Phoenix Rising FC, as you take a look at One Oak Field. And here are the first half highlights.
Yeah, Epps has gotten on the ball 5 or 6 times, running that front foot. This is really early on. It's encouraging from the winger to get at guys, make them move, get the defense to shift, and ultimately nothing comes out of it. But you're encouraged if you're a FC Tulsa fan.
Yeah, you are ball into the box here from Segrist. There was Rucci with a header, and then Rucci into the gloves of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, good numbers in the
Leo
box
Snowa,
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Trejo starting to become a problem more and more. He's popping up. A nice ball in behind, just chipped over the top. You're seeing Traore get kind of involved, sending Arteaga and Trejo in behind. It's not much, but it's enough if you're Phoenix Rising, something that you talk about in the locker room. And then lastly here, this Philip Goodrum in behind, and nothing comes of it. And same with Eric Bird here. He probably wants to do a little bit better, but you'll take that chance if you're FC Tulsa.
Yeah, Eric Bird, who scored last week, as we said, in the 2-1 win against San Antonio. Again, the night sky here at One Oak Field. We might get one last look at the stats. Again, we've already shown you, but no goals, so you just feel there might be more to come. But again, the shot count probably will increase in the second half.
Yeah, it's been a disciplined performance from both sides. I think maybe you start to see Phoenix start to buy into that transition a little bit more, both offensively and defensively. I mean, they have to pick their times to go and defensively be smart about who stays and why. And so for Phoenix, this is where they do their damage. This is what makes them a really special team. And if you're FC Tulsa, I think you don't mind playing the same style for the first 15-20 minutes and keeping Phoenix at bay, but then ultimately, can you take your time? Can you take your chance? And can Philip Goodrum put away that chance? This feels like it has one chance in it if you're FC Tulsa, and that's not a bad thing. I just think, can they put it in the net?
Desperate for 3 points to both sides. That was the former professional Brady Ballou, and I'm absolutely delighted to say that I've been joined by a current professional, one very well known not only to FC Tulsa fans, but also, of course, to many of you tuning in if you're a neutral, and that is one Bradley Bourgeois. Bradley Bourgeois, my friend, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I could complain, but what's the point of that? So every day is a great day. I have a newborn son. Life is fantastic, and it's just really nice to be here, and I appreciate you having me on. Can't fill the shoes of Brady Ballou, but I will do my best.
Of course, former teammate of yours.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Also, good friend. What a great guy, and it's very nice to have those relationships even after and off the field.
Well, Bradley's going to stay with us on the commentary. Let's see if he can bring us a goal, something that Brady Ballou could not do in that first half. 0-0, but your assessment, you've watched pretty much most of the game. I know you were running up and down the stairs a little bit, but pretty good from FC Tulsa.
Yeah, I mean, when we look at it, Phoenix, yes, they've had majority of the possession, but we can live with that. They're a ball-playing side. They want to be on the ball. They want to create chances. You can see Trejo, get into those half spaces. But what, the way that we have been able to defend, be in blocks, and be okay with the chances that we've limited them to, I think we can live with that, and we can continue to move forward. But definitely in the second half, as we can see.
Milo Yosef into the box. There's a diving header from Eric Bird, who was in there.
That's what we want. We want to be on the front foot. We want to start creating more chances and start letting them kick it long and be able to pick up that ball and start gaining more possession, more momentum. And I think we have the midfield to be able to do that.
Lane Ferry, that's the voice of Bradley Bourgeois, well known to FC Tulsa fans. Here's Segrist. We're keeping Bradley on the broadcast. And Bradley, just tell us about, you know, where you are with your comeback. I know you've had an injury, you've been out for several weeks, must be highly frustrating. So not only tell us where you are, but also how do you keep in contact with the boys on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I mean, where I'm at right now, I look at it, and this is my 8th year professional, and for me to have my first, somewhat major injury and to be healthy for that long, I'll take it and count it as a blessing. And so there are guys who aren't that fortunate, but right now I feel like I'm in a really good spot. I've been rehabbing very, very hard with our new strength and conditioning coach, Andy. And
is Segrist into the box, headed away by Stenberg, going to come to Blaine Ferry, dumps it back into the box. So Stenberg again, towering presence there at the back, heads it away. Nate Worth gets a good ball here to Eric Bird. Bird onto his right foot, blocked. In steps Keegan Hughes with a foot, but now here's Traore for Phoenix Rising. And there's a foul there as Keegan Hughes was too close to Traore.
With that, we can live with that foul because we're on the front foot. We're trying to press. We're trying to regain that ball and be in the front half. And so I think this is right here. This is right here is just all about winning it. Is it the most unfortunate foul? Yes, but we're on the front foot and we can live with that. And so just connecting with these guys, Keegan Hughes has come in here, and just being able to talk with him, kind of figuring out where his experiences are from Stanford. For me, while I'm doing my rehab, it's all about talking with the guys and just having that communication, that connection. Just because I'm not on the field with him day in and day out doesn't mean that we can't talk, we can't, just gain those relationships because that's most important. Trying to pick those brains, figuring out what they see on the field. And while I'm watching, not on the bench, but, in the stands, trying to give them some insight of what I see. And so just using some of my experience to be able to help them. And then whatever they need from me, whether that's, going out and talking a little bit more about the game, whether that's just hanging out with them and just kind of put them in a better mental place, that's what I'm here for. And so it's really nice to see the guys in a run of form and to be able to gain off of wins, and that's exactly what we need.
Is a former colleague of Bradley Bouchard, that's the man who's ended up on the ground, and that is Gabby Torres.
Probably one of the nicest individuals you'll ever meet in your life. A great human being, and seems to be in kind of a scuffle here, but great person, great left foot as well, and it's unfortunate to see him go down.
Yeah, we'll just see here, shields the ball very well. Milo Yosef there just scuffling with him here, and I think Milo Yosef falls on top of him, and that's what Traore took exception to. Referees in there calming everything down. Gabby Torres still on the ground. RTA having a few words there with the assistant. Remains 0-0. We've got Bradley Bouchard alongside yours truly, Dave Saunders, here in the commentary box. While there is an injury, Bradley, we all know top 8 get into playoffs. FC Tulsa are there or thereabouts. It's a very tough run-in, I have to say, isn't it? Everybody knows going to Pittsburgh, going to Charleston Battery. Tell us about the spirit in the camp and how much belief there is right there.
This group, beyond other years, I tell you what, they are very, very consistent in the way that we go about bringing the energy into the locker room. Whether we're up and we're on a 5-game win, whether we're down and we've lost a couple, the group tries to bring that energy every single day, and the camaraderie around this group and these people and the way the group has come together has been fantastic. Just having that last win over San Antonio has done wonders for the group. And it really seems like the spirit is there. To have that last little run, like you said, Charleston, Pittsburgh, we have some away games that we need everyone firing on just full cylinders. I think we're there. I think we have the spirit, we have the belief. Blair's done a fantastic job of just getting us prepared every single week. And you hear what we're about and what we're trying to do. We're there, and I believe that this group is a playoff group.
Here's Goodrum trying to make it happen for FC Tulsa to break the deadlock here. Marcus Epps, referee, looking to his assistant, and they agree that it's an FC Tulsa ball, which Epps takes quickly to Nate Worth. I want to ask you about Nate Worth, 16 years old. Looks like he's been playing the game forever in the center of the midfield.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me about Nate. Nate is you talk about a kid with his head on his shoulders, comes to work every single day with a smile on his face. He might get kicked, yelled at, you know, make mistakes, but he never puts his head down. He never, you know, sits there and complains. He is a kid that comes to work with a smile on his face, and he enjoys what he does.
Here's Marcus Epps inside the area, comes off the defender. Eric Bird's in there to win the ball. It's going to roll away, though, for a Phoenix Rising throw-in. Yeah, Nate Worth, I mean, you know, again, credit the coaching staff who've clearly seen something in Nate Worth, 16 years old, and, you know, like I said, he's played the last few games, hasn't he? Played very well against an experienced San Antonio side, a really good player on the ball.
Yeah, he loves the ball. That's the biggest key. He loves the ball. He loves getting on the ball, loves finding those half spaces, and loves connecting. That's
a good ball from Epps. I say that. It's just gone to Traore and didn't quite get to Blaine Ferry, but Marlo Yosef wins that one. Gabby Torres back there to win it back for Phoenix Rising FC in this delicately poised game. 0-0 the score. Keegan Hughes gets a foot in, but here comes Torres now, running down the centre of the field. He's got Arteaga with him. He slips the ball into the area there, and it's away off a defender, and it's going to be a Case and Associates corner. But Bradley, you'd appreciate the FC Tulsa defending from that breakaway from Phoenix Rising FC.
Absolutely, it's been an emphasis. We lose the ball, you better work down, get into the middle, get into your blocks, and make sure that defensively we're compact in the middle. And even though Gabby's driving here, he's trying to, you know, bring us back. This is a fantastic block from Rashid, and he's known to do that a time or two.
Rashid Tete, that is the voice, as you can see, of Bradley Bourgeois. We'll stay with Bradley here for this Case and Associates corner, which is gone to the man in white tonight. It's Phoenix Rising FC. Good ball into the box. There's a header away from Eric Bird, who was back there. Headed back into the danger area. Marcus Epps needs to get something on this one. Ball is slightly loose, goes all the way back here to Traore. Traore now to Manjoma. Majoma's wrestled to the ground by Eric Bird. Word for your captain. He scored 3 goals, and he just seems to be everywhere. You can put him anywhere on the field. We'll just come to Bradley in a moment. Ball into the box, headed away. Here's Blaine Ferry trying to get a header in. Ball still inside the box. Great blocks. Everybody on both sides has blocked the ball so well. There's a flicked header, but a word for your captain, Eric Bird, before we let you go.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Bird is the definition of a Swiss Army knife. This guy is everywhere, can do everything. He'll get into tackles, is not afraid of any kind of challenge, and for him to have 3 goals, 3 assists, it is fantastic from Eric Bird. And I will definitely be remiss not to mention Nate Worth's haircut. I call it the TikTok haircut, and it's just as much as his play is fantastic. I have to say his haircut is just as good.
I think we have to call it a night there, Bradley Bourgeois. That is a great way to finish on Nate Worth's haircut. Thank you very much, my friend. All the best to you. We want to see you back in an FC Tulsa shirt very, very soon. All the best to you. Congratulations again.
I appreciate it, and hopefully I'm back out there very, very soon.
It's the voice of Bradley Bourgeois as we tell you that the world demands low-cost, low-carbon energy. Williams will be there with the best transport, storage and delivery solutions. Williams, we make clean energy happen. Back alongside me, Brady Ballou. Well, he couldn't give me a goal either, so, you know, former pro and a current pro, it's still 0-0.
He's a top lad, though. He's the exact type of guy you want in the locker room. He's the captain for a reason. It's a shame the injuries bug has kind of caught up to him, but he'll be back soon. He always is, and good to have him up in the studio tonight.
And I'll tell you something, whether he's playing or not, at the end of the game, whoever FC Tulsa seems to play, he's there hugging someone, chatting with someone. He knows so many players from around the league. Here's Epps, just wanting to get a little bit of space. Gets it in the shape of Nate Worth. Keegan Hughes, they start again to FC Tulsa with Rashid Tete. Tete, who came from New Mexico and actually won the Rookie of the Year award back in 2019. Been so important at the back, plays the centre of the 3. Fuenmayor won that one back for Phoenix Rising. Here's Stenberg going back to the goalkeeper Rios Novo, the Argentinian. 6 clean sheets. He's played 26 of 28 games this season. Arteaga forward, looking for Gabby Torres. Torres here, through on goal. Torres, can he open the scoring? No, he can't, because there's an outstanding tackle from Keegan Hughes. No wonder he's in the team of the week for that tackle.
Man, that's exactly what you want from your defense, is someone that just doesn't give up on the play. He comes in sweeping through that tackle. It's a great little combination from Arteaga in the middle of the field, but Gabby Torres, such a fast player. He does all the right things here. And then Hughes comes in, sweeps the ball away. It's brilliant. He gives a little to the crowd. That is a timeless tackle.
Yeah, he has to get that one right. Case and Associates corner for Phoenix Rising here. 0-0 the score. We're in the 57th minute. Ball into the area is headed away by Epps. There's a stab towards goal, which isn't too far over the bar.
It wasn't nothing. You know, it's in there. Phoenix is really starting to kind of warm up into the game there. And that whole build-up came from Rios Novo. He's pointing at players with the ball on his feet, and as he gets closed down, he finds Arteaga right up the middle of the field, Route 1 football, and Arteaga is able to turn and slip Gabby Torres in. If you're FC Tulsa, you might be a little bit concerned about how easy it was to get box to box in about 6 seconds, but Hughes came up huge there.
Got a head injury here. Philip Gudrun is down. So a little break in play. It remains 0-0. The last effort there was from Eddie Manjoma. Manjoma wearing 23 from McKinney, Texas. And interestingly about him, he actually played his college ball with one Michael Nelson, the FC Tulsa goalkeeper at SMU. There's a challenge from Traore and Gudrun. I think it's one of those fair challenges. It just happens to be the flailing arm, Brady, and I think there's a little bit of concussion protocols going on for Gudrun. Yeah. I think he'll be okay.
Nothing malicious from Traore at all. 2 guys competing for the ball. I don't think Gudrun really has too many problems with it. Hope he's okay. He's had a few games this year with a bandage on his head, so he's no foreigner to this process, and the FC Tulsa staff doing a good job making sure that he's good to continue. And yeah, as we approach the 60th minute, there's really all to play for tonight. Zambrano getting on the ball a little bit more, Arteaga getting on the ball a little bit more. Trejo kind of starting to drift out of the game a little bit, which is music to FC Tulsa fans' ears, but good to see Gudrun battling again. And as teams start to get end line, we mentioned a lot in the first half, the cutback I think is going to be the favored ball tonight, as these long crosses just haven't really connected.
Gudrun will have to come off the field as he got treatment on it next to Brandon Query, the 4th official. FC Tulsa have beaten Loudon by 3-0 here at One Oak Field. Detroit and Hartford by 3-2. They had a narrow win against Miami, and those last 3 I mentioned were all in a space of 9 days, and then they had to wait 6 games before they beat San Antonio, and that happened last Sunday, 2-1 at the University of Tulsa, as we told you about at half-time. Here's Rucci. Ball being played in Phoenix Rising's half here, playing Ferry. Nate Worth. 0-0 wouldn't be disastrous for Phoenix Rising FC, but everybody wants to win the game of football and get that 3 points. You'd say it's absolutely vital that FC Tulsa gets something from tonight's game.
They have to get something. You do take a point as you near the 80th minute, but for now, I think these are the times that you do get some guys involved going forward, committing numbers to the box. If you kind of pay attention, look at Bird here going up the middle of the field. He's just creeping up about 5 yards, his average position. Something to pay attention to over the next 15 minutes. A cheap little foul from Joseph up top.
FC Tulsa, after tonight, have 3 away games. They go to Oakland Roots, and then a week later to Charleston Battery, and then to Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. That before they have their last home game here at One Oak Field against Indy 11. That will be in the month of October, before travelling again to the East Coast to Hartford Athletic.
Not an easy finish to the season, you know.
Certainly isn't, is it? When you look at, Oakland Roots are going well, cross-conference game, and then you've got to play first and third as it currently stands away from home. It is by no means an easy run-in. But as Bradley Bourgeois said then, the spirit in the camp is good. And here's Segrist with the throw-in, right down by his own defending corner flag there. 0-0 the score, 61 minutes gone. Bird tries to flick it on. Fuenmayor wins the throw-in.
If I'm Keegan Hughes in the group chat tomorrow, I'm sending a GIF of my tackle to the team and say, you know, let's train. Let's keep going, guys. This is it. And I would send it every day. I would send it every day. That is a highlight reel that he'll have forever.
Jose Hernandez. Brady Ballou referring to Keegan Hughes' tackle, which has kept the score at 0-0 as Gabby Torres was bearing down on Michael Nelson's goal. Manjoma going to the byline, good ball into the box. Rucci got a foot on it. Blaine Ferry completes the clearance. Traore heads it back. Milo Yosef wants the ball, but that's good play from Torres. Again looking for Manjoma, but that's going to go away for a goal kick. Phoenix Rising currently 5th in the Western Conference, overall record of 11, 8 and 8. They've played 27, 41 points. Their away record, they've had wins. As Milo Yosef here wants the foul. Referee said the ball was played. No foul. Yosef has gone down. Armanakis carries on. Torres now. Jose Hernandez. The home fans don't like it. Fuenmayor switching towards the right-hand side. There's Keegan Hughes, who heads it away. Yosef is okay. Was that a foul for you, Brady?
Yeah, it's tough to see from our angle, but Bird does a great job kind of penetrating towards the middle of the field, dumping it to Yosef. Yosef creatively cuts inside. I don't think the defender necessarily thought he would come inside as he was isolated, but needless to say, apparently a good tackle from Phoenix Rising.
Fuenmayor, the Venezuelan, in his 24th start of the season, continues his run up the right-hand side. Ball slipped in, and there's a tackle, and still Arteaga gets up, and another block. It's been a feature of tonight's game. Every defender is putting their body on the line. There's a ball into the box from Arteaga, then an untidy aerial battle finishes up at the feet of Rucci, headed back by Eddie Manjoma. Now Nate Worth with some space.
Game starting to open up a little bit now.
Blaine Ferry back to Nate Worth. Marcus Epps waits and receives the ball to feet here. The former Phoenix man now running into the area. Scoops it with his left foot. It's going to come here to Blaine Ferry. He heads it towards Milo Yosef. Now ball given away. Here's Bird. Milo Yosef, decent ball needed. Milo Yosef still with the ball here, trying to go the long way around here. He's got round the back. He clips it across. Well, here's Keegan Hughes is up from the back. Now Blaine Ferry. Ferry will find Epps on the far post. Epps chests it down. Segrist gives it back to Epps. FC Tulsa knocking on the door here, 0-0. Epps blocked by Manjoma. Good tackle from Nate Worth, who said he got the ball. I say good tackle. Referee disagrees.
A great tackle, but they've halted play now. Great tackle by Nate Worth. Unfortunately, the ref sees something else, but FC Tulsa encouraging stuff. Obviously, Epps there, probably disappointed to have that shot blocked, but coming inside, curling that ball on his right foot. It's the right idea. It all comes from Yosef on the other side, but here's that tackle again from. Yeah, you can see where the ref sees some. I don't know. I'll leave it to the ref. It's not even worth commenting.
Yeah, and he's an experienced referee, as Matt Corrigan.
He's done well tonight.
I think in the modern game, whenever you see that kind of tackle, it's always given as a free kick. I think going back a few years, maybe the game has changed a little bit. Referee has only gone to his pocket once tonight for Milo Yosef. All flicked on here. Zambrano is in there. Feeds it out to Torres. Torres back in field to Hernandez. Hernandez clips it to the right-hand side for Manjoma, who goes back here to Fuenmayor into the box, headed away by Blaine Ferry. Gudrun trying to make a nuisance of himself, but still the away side come forward. Torres now, his shot is blocked. Bit of a feature of the night, isn't it? Shots being blocked all the time.
Yeah, stout defending, and if you're FC Tulsa, it's nice to see Trejo start drifting out to the left. He's trying to find a little bit of space, and that's, if you're FC Tulsa, that's exactly where you want him to be. You don't want him to be in between the pipes. So well done from FC Tulsa there, but Phoenix Rising will keep pressing.
Yeah, throw in on the left-hand side, taken by Torres to Hernandez, back to Torres. Torres and Bird clashing, former teammates of course, all deemed fair by the referee. Now Gudrun under pressure from Traore, does well Gudrun, gets it out to that right hand side to Bird. Bird will just check. Blaine Ferry slowing things down. Epps. Keegan Hughes, who's had another great game at the back for FC Tulsa, on the ball now. Rashid Tete. Rucci completes the back three. Siegrist is playing as a left wing back. Swing by Society Burger for Made to Order Burgers, scratch made sides, and a daily happy hour from 3 to 6 p.m. and 8 until close. Society Burger, fellowship for all through food and drink.
They recently got rid of my favorite burger off the menu. I'm absolutely devastated, but I'll be back, Society.
It's the voice of Brady Blue, former professional. Here's Marcus Epps. Good ball into the box, but there is no one on the end of that one, and a catch for Rios Nova. Zambrano. Foul. FC Tulsa will be making a change, and coming on is a former teammate of Brady Blues, and that's Colin Fernandez.
Good to see you, Colinho.
On for Blaine Ferry, like for like. Those two started the season alongside each other, almost playing as two number 6s. Colin Fernandez in his second spell with the club, and also another connection to Phoenix Rising, of course. There is Blaine Ferry, who's worked hard for the cause. 0-0 it remains. Stenberg, who's been a tower of strength at the back, not given Philip Gudrun much room to play in. Jose Hernandez, who likes to drop deep, shackled by Epps there. And now there's Artiega, who goes down, and it'll be a free kick a long way out, but it is central. There's Rashid Tete, just slightly overzealous in the challenge here, Brady.
Yeah, it's a late kick out there, but yeah, I like the way that he steps. He's done well there to kind of thwart any turn. The ending, you probably don't love to watch, but got to see Artiaga get up from that with Colin Fernandez coming in. I'm kind of curious what Blair Gavin has in mind for him in terms of where he's going to play in that midfield as Ferry steps out. He was kind of sitting in that 10 role, and do they push Bird forward? Do they have Colin sit with Nate in that middle slot, that double pivot? Colin is a guy that when he does get forward, I love playing with him, but I think he prefers to sit a little bit farther back and play.
Diving header into the box, diving header away. Now Marcus Epps, furthest man forward for FC Tulsa, who are playing from right to left on your screens, wearing all black kit tonight with their patina green numbers. Then they slow it down with Eric Bird, Rashid Tete, Keegan Hughes with some room to play in. Here is Colin Fernandez. Nate Worth driving forward. Marcus Epps. Siegrist goes on the overlap. Epps back onto his right foot. Ball into the box, away by Stenberg. Epps holds his right arm aloft. Him and Gudrun have linked very, very well.
Yeah, I love the idea from Epps. Gudrun playing off that back shoulder of the center backs. It's the best forwards in the world live there in that small space just off the center back shoulder. Gudrun, I mean, watch him come back into the picture, just waltz his way right back in. He's sitting off the back shoulder, the outside back, and he won't stay there. He'll just look at, he's already creeped in on the inside. And the best forwards find those spaces.
Last touch was off Colin Fernandez.
A little high hand there. You're trying to feel the presence. I think every player's been in that kind of scenario where you are trying to find the guy that's coming off your back shoulder, and you can't quite see him. You just got to wait to feel him and then hopefully control him to turn. But every once in a while that hand does tend to go a little bit more vertical, and to the benefit of FC Tulsa, a little free kick action right here, about 35 out.
Yeah, Milo Yosef it is who clipped this one in. The line being held on the 18-yard line. You can see a line of 7 white shirts there up against the 5 black shirts of FC Tulsa. A 2-man wall. 71 minutes have ticked by in this game, and it remains 0-0. Milo Yosef, great ball into the box. Epps is there, heads it back. Nate Worth and Jose Hernandez clash there on the 18-yard line, and then Colin Fernandez has committed a foul. He's only been on the field a minute. He's going to get a yellow card, and that's called taking one for the team.
That's exactly what he has to do in that situation. I think every player on the field knows that foul's coming. I think the ref knows that foul's coming, and Colin jogs away. He knows. He doesn't need to see it.
2019, FC Tulsa, the Tulsa Roughnecks 1, Phoenix Rising 5. Didier Drogba got a couple, and Colin Fernandez was playing on that day against Tulsa Roughnecks. Blair Gavin was the assistant. We say lots of connections. Also, Sam Dorr, who's with FC Tulsa now, spent 4 years with Phoenix Rising. A goal now, priceless for either side, if indeed we were only to get one goal in this game. 0-0 the score. Blair Gavin's talking to the assistant, the fourth official. We're not quite sure what's going on here. Mr. Corrigan is going to just have a word with Colin Fernandez, and I think it was to say that, was it to confirm the yellow card maybe? Anyway, here's Fuenmayor. Happy to go back to his goalkeeper, the 21-year-old. He was on the bench of this week's Team of the Week. Rashid Tete away. Eric Bird goes to ground. Sakura again right on the spot. No foul. Hernandez. Now the ball out to Fuenmayor, the Venezuelan. Spent 4 seasons with Houston Dynamo. .73.5 minutes gone, still 0-0. Little bit of room here for Manjoma. Manjoma in field, loses out, but they win it back again to Phoenix Rising. Nate Worth's in there, but Armanakis has got away from him. Here's Manjoma. He gets tackled by Rucci. Trejo. Gabby Torres. Good ball into the box. Rashid Tete there. And it's going to be caught by Michael Nelson. All a little bit untidy, but FC Tulsa, Brady Ballou survive.
Yeah, with that ball hanging up in the lights, Michael Nelson, it's a little, he makes it look easy, but it's hard to track, and you're right against the end line. It's the 75th minute. You've got to be sure that you've got your hands on it. Originally, I would say FC Tulsa might feel that they're drifting towards the time that they could start playing possibly for a draw, but I think there's quite a bit of self-belief in this FC Tulsa side tonight that they can get 3 points from Phoenix Rising.
Stenberg with the foul on Eric Bird. Again, a defender doesn't mind giving a foul away in the midfield. Now Colin Fernandez, got to be careful. He's already been booked, and Gabby Torres has gone to ground. The assistant was waving his flag furiously. Mr. Corrigan surrounded by white-shirted players here. There's Blair Gavin with Colin Fernandez. Drinks break. Referee just calming things down here. It's a difficult one, Brady, when you get to this stage in the game. You know, 1 point would be okay. Obviously, both sides want the 3, but 15 minutes to go. You don't want to be the side to make the mistake.
Yeah, in Tulsa, with Detroit and Miami both having a game in hand against Tulsa, and the way this game has kind of gone, FC Tulsa feels like they could commit some numbers forward. I think they've really got an opportunity here to steal all 3, but if you're Phoenix, you don't necessarily have to gamble too much. You're in a comfortable spot towards the top half of the table in the West, and it's one of those things where you probably keep Trejo, Arteaga, and
Armanakis.
Yes, thank you, Armanakis on the field, because they are so dangerous, and you probably believe that they still can nip in a goal, but it's one of those ones where a draw isn't so bad for either, but you start to feel the way that this game's going with Phoenix on the road that they might be okay with a point here.
Change then, Manjoma is coming off. Uzo Chuwu is coming on. Wearing 15, like-for-like swap. Fans head to the FC Tulsa app to vote for tonight's man of the match. You can download the FC Tulsa app on the App Store and the Google Play Store. Voting closes at the final whistle. Brady Ballou, you can have some time to think about it if you want, but who are your FC Tulsa candidates for man of the match?
That's a really great question. It's been overall, I think from an individual standpoint, a bit of a quieter night. Epps has been on the ball quite a bit. Nothing coming of it so far. I like the way that Nate Worth has kind of managed that midfield. He's been busy in there. I like the way that he's chasing down some loose ends. He got that great tackle. It's unfortunate that there was a foul called there, but I like to see the way that he's kind of evolving as a player, as a young 16-year-old in the USL Championship. So, you know, let's wait. I think we still got time to find this man in the match for FC Tulsa.
And let's throw in Keegan Hughes again.
Oh, how could we forget Keegan Hughes' tackle? That is, he'll have that highlight reel forever. A great tackle. If this ends 0-0, he's my FC Tulsa man of the match. If you're Phoenix, you know, that's a great question as well. It's, once again, individually, been a little bit of a quieter night for both sides. There hasn't been anybody that's grabbed the game by the neck.
Now, FC Tulsa have broken the lines here. Gudrun, and he's offside, which might be why he broke the line, because the line was held fairly well there. And apologies, Manjoma is still on the field, of course. Uzo has come on. Manjoma has gone to the left-hand side. It was Gabby Torres that was substituted. Still the same formation being played by Coach Guerra. Long ball forward, chested down by Arteaga. Referee was thinking about blowing for a handball there, but plays on. Here's Marcus Epps. Epps to Gudrun. Gudrun can't get the ball to Colin Fernandez. Manjoma's won it back for Phoenix Rising FC, who slow things down now. Here's Stenberg, who's played really well, the 30-year-old, born in Gothenburg, Sweden, joined in January of this year. Good signing. It's only his 6th start. Gudrun to Bird. Bird tries to play back to Gudrun when maybe he could have played it square to Nate Worth. I think Gudrun would have been in offside position.
Yeah, maybe a little bit happy feet from Bird, but as that ball, it feels like that takes forever for that ball to come down, and all you want to do is get it off your foot in that standpoint, from that standpoint if you're Bird, because the whole world feels like it's collapsing on you.
Actually, I stand corrected. I think Stenberg was playing him onside, but Gudrun was not quite on his feet. Now that's been given away. Marcus Epps now from deeper in midfield. Uzo steps in. Little triangle being played. Traore, who's played well. If you wanted a Phoenix Rising man of the match,
he's been a
done
good
well,
shout.
hasn't he?
Very good shout. Hernandez has been really tidy, kind of in that 6th position. I really like watching that kid play. He's so tidy. He's technical. Never dillies on the ball either. It feels like he already knows what he's going to do with it by the time it gets to him. Nice calm presence in the middle of the park.
Stenberg really getting his last warning, I think, from Mr. Corrigan, the referee, for the push in the back for the hard-working Philip Gudrun.
Yeah.
Little bit of a kick out there.
Yeah, it kind of bails Gudrun out there. He's not really going anywhere. Stenberg a little bit excited to get there. It's been a quieter night for him in terms of how busy he's had to be, so maybe just getting a little bit, get a foot in there.
Long ball over the top for Epps. He wanted to flick it on for Gudrun, but it's gone away for a goal kick. As we take a look at some of the scores tonight, we know that Detroit have beaten Miami by 2-1. As have Tampa Bay with Louisville City FC. That finished 2-1. Tampa Bay had already nailed on their playoff spot. Stenberg goes back to Rias Novo. Thanks for your company here on My 41 here in Tulsa and ESPN Plus. Dave Saunderson, former professional Brady Ballou with you. trying to bring you a goal in this finely poised game. Armanakis goes wide to Uzo. Uzo will not get on the end of that one. Throw in for Siegrist. Again, we say lots at stake. You don't want to be the person to cause a mistake to happen, but you want to be the player who could win the game of football with a single moment of brilliance. Colin Fernandez sitting a little bit deeper now. Keegan Hughes. Memphis 0, Monterey Bay 1 is the final score, as is Charleston 2, San Diego Loyal 0. Good result there for Phoenix Rising FC.
Yeah, you can kind of see this little switch in tactics from FC Tulsa as they attack. They change from that double pivot to a single, and whether it's Nate Worth or Colin Fernandez or Eric Bird kind of sitting right in front of that back line, they're sending 2 forward, so you can tell that Blair Gavin say, let's give this thing a go.
82 minutes gone. Well, here's what's at stake, Brady. FC Tulsa currently, if it finishes 0-0, will finish the night in 9th place on 33 points. Played a game more and a point behind Detroit, who currently hold that 8th spot. A goal for FC Tulsa, a win, 3 points, obviously puts them back into 8th place. A lot at stake for them. Phoenix Rising would finish the night in 5th. They would be a point behind San Diego Loyal, but they would have played a game more. Lots at stake here. What have we got in store in the last 7 or 8 minutes? FC Tulsa fans will tell you they're used to late drama here at One Oak Field. Tulsa Remote has welcomed over 2,000 members to Tulsa and will pay you to work from your new home. Apply now, you're going to love it here. Epps, Siegrist, Fernandez. Worth with a good layoff here to Colin Fernandez. Good ball, finds Eric Bird. Bird in space, he's got underneath it from 18 yards out. Beautifully worked, moved, one-touch football. Eric Bird over the top.
It's well worked from FC Tulsa as Colin Fernandez is coming to the game. He's kind of changed the way that FC Tulsa started to play throughout the midfield. You're seeing Nate Worth sit back and Colin gets involved here early. Little give and go. And then he slips it inside. Goodrum involved. Bird with a little cheeky, almost like he's going to combine again with Goodrum, opens up the hips, and then it's always rising from the time he hits it. The ball's a little bit underneath him, but encouraging stuff from FC Tulsa in this 84th minute here. And you're starting to recognize that if you look at the shape that Phoenix Rising is getting to, they have this low block that they're starting to sit in. They're starting to kind of congeal in the middle of that field, and so FC Tulsa, I think, is going to get a couple more opportunities to sit on top of that low block, and with Colin's presence in the middle of the park now, there's a bit of pizzazz of connecting, and here they are, off again to the races.
Here's Marcus Epps, closely shackled by Fuenmayor, but he's got away from him as Epps can't get it through to Gudrun, and then there's a foul, as we can tell you, that Formella, wearing 29, has come on for Phoenix Rising, and also Carlos Harvey. Harvey did start the last game wearing 67. Here's Jose Hernandez. Armanakis has made way, as has Zambrano. Michael Nelson having a play from on his own byline there. Here's Uzo. Infield to the hard-working Hernandez. He goes down. Rucci's foul. Free kick. FC Tulsa under some pressure. Good moment if you're a Phoenix Rising fan tuning in with 5 minutes to go here, Brady Ballou.
Yeah, this one's in a tricky spot for FC Tulsa, but once again, it's Hernandez kind of just waltzing his way through the FC Tulsa defense. He's been so good tonight. Tidy little player. And now with just a few short minutes left, FC Tulsa has a lot to do here.
Colin Fernandez and Marcus Epps, the two-man wall. Referee Mr. Corrigan pacing out the 10 yards. Jose Hernandez it is, with the responsibility of the free kick. Big moment in the game with just about 4 minutes of regular time to go.
That back stick is wide open.
There it is, it goes to the back stick. Formella was in there. There was a header away. Now there's a curling shot. Diving header from Siegrist. Mali Yosef is fouled inside his own box.
We couldn't see from our angle, but it looked like Stenberg. I think he had his hand up on that back stick. Everyone was covered man-to-man, but he was free at that back stick. And I think if Hernandez gets a little bit more juice on that thing, Stenberg's there to just nod it home.
Nate Worth. Rucci. Up to the hard-working Epps. Harvey just can't get the ball from under his feet. Nate Worth has won it back for FC Tulsa. Keegan Hughes. Nate Worth again exchanging passes with Hughes. He's told by Tete to look forward. Nate Worth, as we said, a goal now for either side, priceless. Both coaches have made some changes. FC Tulsa with the football here. Gudrun on a run towards that right-hand side. Strong header from Traore there. Nate Worth with a great tackle in the midfield. Now here's Colin Fernandez out to Marcus Epps. Can he get in on that favoured right? No, he can't, but he's still got the football here. And then Fernandez was surrounded. And Formella it was, he won it back, and then Arteaga was trying to go in behind the defence, but Tete did well. Here's Nate Worth. 2.5 minutes of the 90 left. Siegrist having to go back. The crowd urging FC Tulsa forward. Ball headed away only as far as Epps. Decent ball into the box. It's just eluded Bird, who slides in, but he's not been able to keep that one in. That was a decent ball in, Brady.
Yeah, it's definitely the right idea. Tired legs on that one for Bird. He's been all over the park tonight, so can't blame him for effort there.
Here's the replay. Good ball in, Brady.
Yeah, and it pops right out to Epps. It's a nice little dink over the top, but the ball just keeps going. I think is that kind of that dude sits on top of the turf. Ball starts to move a little bit faster, but once again, you're starting to see FC Tulsa kind of fall into fortune here with the way that they're possessing, and then those second balls are falling to their feet. I think with, I would imagine a couple subs, 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage, and so we've got 5 minutes left in this one. It really feels like anything could kind of happen.
You're absolutely right. Here's Uzo trying to make it happen now for the away side, Phoenix Rising FC. These two have produced an average of about 4.5 goals a game in the last 10 meetings. Are we to have a 0-0 here? FC Tulsa have drawn way back at the end of March against Pittsburgh Rimhounds SC, a 0-0 draw. They've also had an away draw at Monterey Bay FC 0-0. Here's Siegrist, who doesn't want a 0-0. He's desperate for the points for his team. Good ball into the box. Stenberg heads it away as he's been all night at the back.
Yeah, it's disciplined defending from Phoenix all night tonight. So even since Fernandez got in and started to find little pockets like he is right now, they found a way still to defensively keep their shape and adapt to what FC Tulsa has brought in terms of the change now, just doing with that single pivot rather than the double pivot.
I can tell you that Phoenix Rising SC have not had a 0-0 this season.
Wow.
Still much to play for as we come up to the 90-minute mark, and the fourth official, Mr. Query, waits with his board. And it will be 5 minutes for either team here to try and win this game. Nate Worth. Raking ball to bring in Siegrist. Cushions it down with his left foot. Into Epps. Epps with Uzo. Rucci forward from the back. Phoenix Rising FC sitting in deep here. Epps twisting and turning. Header away from Fuenmayor. Colin Fernandez. Not much room to play in. Siegrist. Here's Epps. Epps wants to be one-on-one. Onto his right foot. He's round one. He couldn't get round the second. And Formella will try to get his side out of danger. Uzo can only clear. Marcus Epps nearly in there.
More and more as you see Phoenix sit in this lower block, FC Tulsa just gets to sit on top of that block and start to play around it, and you see Colin Fernandez get to take a few touches just outside the D, and that doesn't happen very often, especially the last 5 minutes of the game. So patience is key here if you're FC Tulsa, and really organized defending for Phoenix so far.
Artiega has scored in the last 3 games. He was the player of the week. He's the second highest scorer, of course, with his 14 goals, 5 assists, and before this game, 71 shots. Had another good game, but he won't get on the score sheet tonight.
Such a good player.
Fede Varela will come on, wearing 10. The Argentinian, he's got 2 goals and an assist in his season.
If you're FC Tulsa, you never like seeing a number 10 come on the field in the 90th minute with fresh legs, especially with the likes of Varela's capabilities.
Is there a surprise in store here? Bird. Fernandez getting it from under his feet, twisting and turning onto his left foot, shoots wide of the target, and it will be a goal kick. And we've got 3 minutes left of this game, and neither side really wants the 0-0, but at the end of the day, it could be that they shake hands and say, okay, a point is a point, and that's what we have. Mr. Corrigan will hurry the young goalkeeper up here. Certainly it's been something that referees, you see it in the English Premiership a lot now, bringing out the cards for goalkeepers who waste time at the end.
Yeah, card the goalkeeper, especially when they kick the ball out of bounds off a goal kick. Drives me nuts. You've got the whole field to kick it into.
Who'd be a goalkeeper though? Here's Rucci. Nate Worth, is there one last opportunity for either side here to win this game? Nate Worth's giving it away to Uzo, but then immediately gets it back. Now Marcus Epps. Marcus Epps now driving down the middle. He's put it out the left-hand side to Gudrun. Gudrun's onside. Philip Gudrun, what can he do? Up against Stenberg. Good ball back into Nate Worth. Worth's a long way out. Feeds it to Malu Yosef, who tried the deftest of touches in the box there. Now, Nate Worth, another candidate for FC Tulsa's man of the match, you would say, still with the ball here. Colin Fernandez has done well since he's come on as a sub. Siegrist, ball into the box. It's going to go all the way over here to Milo Yosef. Yosef to Epps. Epps turning, shooting, just wide of the target. It was a little bit further away, and there's going to be a yellow card here for a late challenge for Uzo. Epps with the latest effort.
Yeah, none of this happens without Nate Worth doing a little bit of the dirty work, cleaning up the play, recycling all of that hard work that FC Tulsa got through, and then it pops out to Yosef, combines with Epps. It's one of those that Epps is probably fairly competent in terms of turning blindly and hitting that bender. I mean, that's what he does in training every single day, and so working on bending the ball around the keeper there. So FC Tulsa, you're encouraged a few more minutes to maybe get after Phoenix Rising's low block.
FC Tulsa on halfway with Milo Yosef. Nate Worth. 30 seconds left of the scheduled 5 minutes being played at the end of this game. Rucci drives the ball to Milo Yosef, who keeps it in. Traore anywhere will do now. Rashid Tete. Nate Worth now right on halfway, looking for a crucial ball over the top. Gudrun's in behind the defender. Both of them go to ground. Gudrun's not happy with the challenge. Mr. Corrigan says it's no call, and it's going to be a goal kick. Stenberg's in there. Gudrun was going for the ball, he said. Stenberg just making sure that Gudrun stays away from his teammates. Mr. Corrigan telling everybody to calm down. We've got a few seconds left. It's one of those where it's good defending, but the attacker wants something from it there, Brady.
Yeah, it's not much in it for me either way. It's one of those situations, two guys running towards the goal, shoulder to shoulder. You're supposed to get tangled in those situations, and ref handles it well, and that's it.
Phoenix Rising get their first 0-0 draw of the season. FC Tulsa can say that they kept the front line of Phoenix Rising very quiet, but alas, they will have to take the home side a point when obviously they wanted 3. It means they're unbeaten in their last 2 games. The players shaking hands. Brady Ballou, 0-0, I guess, in the end, about right.
Yeah, about right, I suppose. If you're FC Tulsa, you've kept one of the league leaders in scoring, 2 of the stat leaders from scoring, and that's something to take into training next week and celebrate. Phoenix Rising, a point on the road, not the end of the day. Decent performance, very organized performance. I think both coaches can take some tangibles away from this one and build upon it. And these last few games, there's a lot to do.
Yeah, don't go away. We've got lots to wrap up here. We didn't see any goals, but there's lots to talk about with standings, and we will show you the highlights. We'll tell you what's coming up for the schedules. It is FC Tulsa 0, Phoenix Rising FC 0.
Every bite better with Pepsi.
Hi, I'm Bill Knight for Bill Knight Ford. You've probably noticed the construction going on around us, so now is the perfect time to take advantage of our remote options in both sales and service. From a fully online buying experience, including signing all of your documents online, to our pickup and delivery option and service, where we'll bring the loaner to you, and of course, our mobile service van. So let us at Bill Knight Ford come see you and visit us online at BillKnightFord.com, home of the Knight Advantage.
My back was hurting a lot of cricks in my neck.
Lower back completely went out.
And everything hurt all at once.
You need to go to Tulsa Spine and Rehab, see Dr. Riley.
He does an adjustment, and I feel great after.
Each patient just gets 110% attention, no matter what they're here for or how long they're here.
When I leave here, I always feel so much better.
I feel stronger than I did before.
I'm happier, I feel better.
The reason that I have to stay well.
Rib Crib's been smoking the good stuff over 20 years, serving up mouth-watering barbecue, talking about slow-smoked classics like Rib Crib's famous ribs. Yeah. Hungry yet? Rib Crib.
Welcome back in for the last time here to One Oak Field. It's finished 0-0. FC Tulsa's second home 0-0 of the season. Phoenix Rising's first 0-0 of the whole season. Alongside me all night has been former professional Brady Ballou. Brady, as we roll the highlights, we start with a former FC Tulsa man going through on goal.
Oh, this one was so exciting when it finally broke through. The game had sort of been at a stalemate. Gabby Torres driving, making defenders commit, going at that front foot, dumps it off to Trejo, and a great block there from FC Tulsa, something that you can rally behind. And then Arteaga getting involved. Gabby Torres slips in behind. He is quick, but for Keegan Hughes to make up that much ground at that point in the game is such a huge moment. Candidate for man of the match for FC Tulsa. Then here we see Wanjoma do a little cutback here. Another great defending. Blocking was top class all night from FC Tulsa. Here you see Epps getting end line, kind of cutting that PK spot, nothing doing there. Rios Novo, pretty calm, cool, and collected. Bird, ball gets underneath him here. He probably is going to look back at that one and wish that first touch was a little bit more out in front of him, but a good combination there from FC Tulsa. And then finally here, Epps, that blind turn with his left foot sweeping to the side. Closer than it looked, but nothing doing in the end. 0-0, probably fair.
As we take a look at the stats, we know there were no goals. The shot count increased in the second half, but alas, shots on target were a little bit few and far between.
And interesting to see the possessions actually from first half to second half. It's basically a direct flip, and so, yeah, you start to look at all these things like shots and all of that. It all starts to add up. A classic matchup where two teams, just kind of feeling each other out all night, nothing really doing.
Nothing really doing, but lots to play for in these schedules coming up as we have a look at FC Tulsa's upcoming schedule. We've already been talking about it during the broadcast. 5 games left. None of those are going to be easy at all. Just one home game left versus Indy 11.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Bradley Bourgeois had kind of mentioned it for FC Tulsa. It's a good thing that there's such a great rapport in the locker room where you're going to be on the road for these big 4 away games, and you've got to stay together despite how the results go. And so with that last home game here October 7th, that's a big one. Hopefully the FC Tulsa fans come out and celebrate the season.
and also going to Charleston Battery on the 23rd, and then a week later back to the East Coast to Pittsburgh River Hunter Sea. 3rd and 1st. Yeah, lots of travelling. Talking of travelling as well, the away side, Phoenix Rising. Let's see what they've got to do in their schedule coming up. We know that they are home now for 2 straight games for Detroit Indy 11. Still lots to play for there, of course, and a game against Indy 11 could affect things for FC Tulsa, although you could argue that Indy 11 now look like they are going to go in the playoffs. But they could do FC Tulsa a favour by beating Detroit City FC there.
Yeah, absolutely, because Phoenix dips into the East Coast Conference here. It does create some interesting little possibilities in the East and in the West. Phoenix still has a little bit more to do to button up a home game in the playoffs, but I'm excited for both squads to see out the rest of the season.
And Brady, before we close, final comment from you. You've got 2 coaches who've come away here with a 0-0 draw. The fans stayed with it all night. Are both coaches going to be slightly disappointed this one got away, or do you say hard-fought game will take the point?
You know, they probably keep it to themselves and their staff that they're a little disappointed, but I think this is the stage of the locker room, in the state of the season, where you do have to keep spirits up, and you do have to put that extra sense of belief for these last few games, because there's still everything to play for. And so if you share that shed of doubt, that doesn't really do you any good as a head coach at this stage.
Brady Ballou, thank you so much for your company all night. Thank you so much for tuning in to this on My41 and ESPN+. As we run the highlights, you won't see any goals. It was a hard-fought game between these two. They'll go away, they'll dust themselves down for the next game, but alas, it finished here at One Oak Field. FC Tulsa 0, Phoenix Rising FC 0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.